Let's come and get this tempo with this flow. Come and get these toes. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm trying to get some bees. Give me your finest rap. Go for it.
Listen.
Like one of the raps that you did on Facebook. Come on.
No.
Bro, come on.
Okay. All right.
Give me one.
I go. Listen. Yeah. I go door to door like a Jehovah's Witness. I'm fat. I don't fitness.
And throwing on some beats this time, trying to switch it up a little bit. What do you think about that?
That was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think about episode 10 of the LeisureHub podcast starting right now? How about that?
Episode 10 already.
Episode 10.
Wow, man.
Bro, 10 episodes?
It's been good. It's been good. Fun.
I feel like we should do a celebration. What do you think? Another one of those? What if we do like
another one of those? Yeah.
Another one of those? What if we do like a little confetti pop? Like
I love your pop noises. They really sound like a pop.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure everybody can agree.
What can I say to all the 3 people that are listen to this podcast, watching YouTube? What do you think about the pop in your mouth?
Pop it.
Well, pop in your ears, actually.
Pop it.
You ever get tinnitus?
Huh?
You ever get tinnitus?
What is that?
Tinnitus is like a ringing in your ear.
Yeah.
But is it like constant? Like if you sit for a little bit, you can hear it.
Yeah.
But that's normal. I mean, like if it's only in one ear.
Sometimes. I've had that happen like a handful of times.
Is it annoying to you?
It's not annoying. It's more of like, why is it happening? There's some myths out there that, somebody's talking about you.
No, I mean like that's just like a quick little ringing and it goes away. I mean like ringing. Like it'll last for 24 hours.
No.
Got that.
Right now.
Not right now, but I had it today because it's basically over time your hearing gets damaged. And so there's this, like, if you listen to loud music or loud cars or loud something, it'll just be like in my right ear, it'll be this loud ringing that happens in my ear for basically 24 hours and then it'll go away. But that's because the fibers or the hairs in my ears are like damaged.
It's because of music?
It's because of loud music, loud crowds, loud bars, loud anything. It's over time your hearing gets damaged and it just starts doing that. And eventually it'll be all the time if you're not like careful.
Damn, dude.
And it's annoying. Like there's times where I'm like, can I hear the show? I don't know if I can hear the show or not.
Huh.
So I turn it up and I was like, wait, it sounds loud, but I don't know. And then it goes away and then it's fine. So yeah. But anyway.
You're 29, living like you're 40.
Just with hearing. Just with hearing. Yeah, bro, I feel like I'm 18. You know what I wanted to talk about today?
What's up?
I wanted to talk to you little ones and Pedro about reviews.
Game reviews specifically.
Game reviews, and we can touch into like movie reviews in general.
Yeah. Reviews in general, like media reviews.
But let me ask you something. And this isn't a part of our actual like list of questions to ask each other. But like, how do you feel about reviews, like overall?
Personally?
Yeah.
I don't take them seriously.
Why?
Because, I mean, I strictly see them as an opinion of somebody else's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Based on, facts here and there. But I still feel like the opinion is always, like slit in there. You know what I mean?
A slit?
Like it's slid in there. Like slid.
Like sliding to home base.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you get your pants all dirty.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I see reviews as a way for me to just look at the technical side of ththings, more factual things. But you will see me mainly looking at game reviews, and I look at them for the graphics, how it looks, how it plays. But to be honest, I'm not really paying too much attention of the opinion of the actual reviewer,
Right.
because a lot of the times it's subjective, and at the end of the day, you could give a review out, and people still bitch about it.
That is true. I mean, you summed up pretty much everything I would have to say about it in a short amount of time. So I guess we don't need to have the podcast anymore.
We're always done this early.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the sooner we get our job done, the faster we can go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, I would say my overall consensus with reviews are, I think they help people. I think they help inform people on a purchase, but sometimes they can lead people wrong or like astray.
I feel like a lot of the times lately.
Yeah, because like reviews are 100% subjective. Like, can you have a review that tells you, oh, this is a game breaking bug? Yeah, that's not subjective. That's just a fact.
A fact, yeah.
Can you have a game that from a story writing purpose, like the story just falls off at a certain point? Yeah, you can have facts in it that like it actually happens. But at the end of the day, like, you don't know if you will like that game or movie or show or anime or whatever you're watching, listening to, playing, unless you actually play it yourself or listen to it or watch it yourself.
Yeah, and a reviewer might say some things like, oh, it's repetitive. What if the person likes repetitive stuff?
You
get what I mean?
Yeah, it's also about like perspective, right?
Yeah.
If you see something as repetitive, but I don't, and I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I played the same exact game, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I think, a lot of companies or a lot of game reviewers or game journalism has like shied away from number reviews.
I agree. I've seen that.
Just because they want to give you more of an informative pictation of overview, yeah, of the actual thing that you're digesting, the entertainment you're digesting. I'm trying to use like general terms so that way this applies to not just games, but like everything. else. But mainly this will be an episode about games, because that's mainly what we kind of researched on. You're bored already.
I'm not bored.
He's yawning.
Dude, it was a yawn.
He yawned and a hot dog fell out.
That's a good one.
I mean, I don't know why you're stuffing things in your mouth, but look,
a hot dog fell out.
Whatever you want to do during the podcast, that's on you. But when we start,
it's subjective.
Nope. But when you start doing stuff on video, like we'll eventually get to video, you gotta stop.
There's no video.
There will be. Sometime.
No.
Yeah. Look, there's a camera right there. We have a Christmas tree set up.
There's a camera in the tree.
There's a camera in the tree. The whole tree's a camera, bro. Bro, it's super late right now, so we're starting to get a little loopy. But that's okay.
We're good though.
Yeah. But I had said like reviews, like when you put a number on it on a review.
Yes.
What?
No, I'm agreeing with you. When you, I kind of know what you're gonna say.
When you put a number on it, it's like, I know I do this.
Yes.
But I go to IGN, and their points are valid. Like I watch the videos, they give a score.
Yep.
But like if I go to the actual article, I am not reading the article. No. I go straight down to look at the review number, and I'm like, got a 6, probably not on my radar.
Yes, bro.
And it's like, should you judge a game purely based off of that number?
A lot of people do this.
I mean, I do it. Like, I'm not saying, like, I'm posing the question, like, not just to me, but for you and for everybody else listening. Like, should you actually base a game off of the number?
No.
Why?
Because a number is what is exactly based on. Like, a lot of these numbers, what deducts a point? Is there something that deducts a point, like half a point or minus 2 points?
I wish you could deduct a point from my age. My age.
So like 1 year?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
It's like I'm 29, so bring me down a couple points. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
But I guess, like, what makes you take a point from something. And then there's games that you consider really good.
Yeah.
And then there's games that are not so good. Or, I mean, and when I say games, like, think of it generally like movies, animes, whatever you're into. Like, and then there's a product that you don't like as much, but got a higher rating than the one that you really liked.
Yeah.
So, what is it really rating?
Right.
You get what I mean?
Yeah. When you do a number system, it gets a little confused. Like, I guess unless you knew how the company was operating. What is that? What is that? Do you hear that?
It sounds like ice.
Oh, it is ice. It's the refrigerator dropping some ice in the tray. Maybe we should turn
Drop
that off.
ice.
Don't drop that. Don't. Okay. But no, like, this number can be confusing and sometimes misleading to other people. I mean, it's happened before where people have given numbers on things that aren't an accurate representation of that form of media, right?
Yeah, I feel like some companies pay to get your numbers higher.
So, sometimes you got to wonder about that. Like, are companies paying another journalist to write a good review about it and give it a solid number?
Yes.
I mean, you and I don't know.
I feel like that happens. That has to happen.
I think it happened less, or it happened more before, but it definitely happens less now because people started calling each other out on it. But I overall, I think, like, reviews can vary based on personal preferences. And the reason why I say that is because you are not giving me the time of day, and I feel like I'm a cheap date now.
Why?
You give me attention.
I am giving you attention.
No. I want you to only focus on me. Could you imagine going on a date like that?
Like what?
Well, I mean, I guess you're on a date, so you should probably be giving the other person your undivided attention. But
yeah, they're the only one there.
Yeah. But anyway, reviews vary from person to person. And I think depending on what your tastes are, you know, the reviewer may absolutely hate this game. I think a reviewer is trying their best to be what's the word, like, non-biased.
Yes, but it's still he or she is still going to be a little biased
towards their enjoyment of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's something and that's something that's not wrong. But then again, you're trying to apply something that you think is enjoyable to everyone. What are you doing?
Huh?
Are you scratching?
Yeah, I'm just scratching my leg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what were you saying?
No, I'm saying, like, when you apply your enjoyment into that number rating, you're applying your opinion for everyone.
Right. It becomes your own bias. You're biased. Yeah. In a way. Because I mean, like, if you sit through a 2-hour movie and it's boring, but you have to write a review on it, you're like, man, this movie was boring. But if I came in and I sat down and I watched the same movie and I was like, wow, this is a great movie.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
That's where you got your boot from.
Yep. Trash. Dumpster dude.
But yeah, no, I think the moment you start enjoying something, like, if you go to a movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you and I go to a movie. We go to 2 different movie theaters. You go in, you're bored to tears for 2 hours. I go in, I enjoy it for 2 hours.
Yep.
Like, it's one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yes.
Right? Like, you enjoyed that. I enjoyed that movie. So I'm going to write a review. Obviously, I'll do like, oh, the plot is slow in this point. The plot picks up in this act. The actor's performance is this, blah, blah, blah. Overall, good experience. Yep. But I may give it like a 7.5, right? But for you, because you were bored, you're like, man, this movie was boring. It didn't do anything. It was too slow. Like, you have a different perspective of it. So because of that, you'll give it like a 5.5 or a 5. So there's 2 different scores. And it's like, well, which one of these reviews is actually accurate?
See,
that's up to the viewer. That's up to the person consuming the content.
That's what I like about Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
So
yeah?
Rotten Tomatoes, they're free to give out their rating, but they include an audience score.
Yeah.
See, I feel like that's pretty cool because you get to see the actual review
Mm-hmm.
and then what the collectiveness, of people think.
Yeah.
That's actually perfect. You know what I mean? Because then you're based off of a wide collection of people's opinions.
Yeah.
And we like to think that as I guess humans,
mm-hmm.
we know what's good and what's bad
mm-hmm.
in terms of entertainment. So if most people think it's good, then it's most likely going to be good. I'm not saying that this is like a set
guideline or something like
yeah,
that.
exactly. But it gives you a wider perspective of different people, kind of like reviews on Amazon.
Right.
That's based on people.
Right. That's why I try not to let a review decide whether I like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It plays a heavy role into whether I'll even consider it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's best to experience something you have to experience it yourself in order to give an accurate, like, your own personal score.
Yeah.
Right. But like, obviously you don't want to spend $70 on a game just to find out that you don't like it. Like, that's a waste of money.
Right.
Like, you want to know ahead of time that you're not going to like this game before. And sometimes you don't know that. Like, a review can tell you all the things that you need to know, but it may not tell you but you may like it. Like, it's happened before, like on tons of games. Like, there's communities where games have not done well and they're like, this is the best game ever.
Yeah.
Like, if the general consensus is this game is not good, but people still love it and they play the hell out of it, there's other factors into it that appeal to them that didn't appeal for the reviewer or for the other people that didn't like the game.
Right. But still appeal.
Yeah. And so, like, I can think of a couple I can think of a couple things off the top of my head that had that same kind of experience.
Yeah.
I'll give one game off the top of my head, and I'll give a movie genre.
Okay.
That appeals to that. So for game first, Last of Us Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when that game came out, overall, the game got a 10 out of 10 on IGN.
Yeah.
On every other, like, reviewing platform, got a high rating. See, I want to enjoy this podcast, but you just keep yawning.
It's a yawn, bro. Take it as it is. It's a yawn. When animals yawn, you don't think they're bored.
Why do people yawn?
Because they need oxygen in their brain.
That's not even like fact.
That is a fact.
Fact. But Last of Us Part 2, I remember when that game came out, it was a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
But that game was so divided. People hated that game.
It's
like, some people hated that game.
It's political.
Well,
a lot of it is political.
I was reading, like, the reasonings on Reddit.
Yeah.
So, do you know why people hated the game?
I know why a lot of people around me hated the game.
So we're going to do a spoiler alert, beep, 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 type of little thing here. If you haven't played Last of Us Part 2, or if you don't even plan on it, we're just doing a spoiler thing. Why do people around you hate Last of Us Part 2 or don't like it?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
the other guy behind you.
The people around me, the main reason.
Oh, the guy behind you.
The main reason is because they killed Joel.
Yes, that is the main reason.
And then the other reason is strictly political. What's
the political?
Bro, believe it or not, a lot of people did not like this game because of the Ellie's sexual orientation.
Ellie being gay?
Yeah.
So what?
Exactly. But
she's still a badass character. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Exactly. But we can move on. I don't get
what's her love interest's name? Shauna?
Oh, I forgot.
It's not Shauna.
No, I haven't played that game since 2020.
Bro, I love this game.
I love this game.
It would. Bro, How are you gonna do me like that?
How you gonna do me like that? Cut it out.
I'm gonna look up the Last of Us 2 because I love this game. I only played it once, but
yeah, it's a game that you play. I mean, from my perspective, Dina, she was pregnant.
She was pregos
with Eric's son. Is his name Eric?
Jesse.
Wow, dude,
Damn.
we're butchering this.
I think we need to go back and play this game, bro.
Yeah.
But no, I have great this game. I won't go too far into it, but this game was fantastic. Like, at least from my experience, when you hit somebody over the head with like a pole, you can feel the weight of it. The whole game is dark. Like, I mean, like, I don't mean like the sky is dark. I mean like emotionally heavy the entire time. And you like not a single moment they barely make jokes. They barely lighten the mood. It's just heavy weight, and you can feel like this, like, damn, this game is like,
definitely she's not a kid anymore.
No. And you can feel like you want to get out of like this toxic environment. You want to get out, like, it's just this dark fog that you want to get out of, and you're like, this game is like another 30 hours or 20 hours of this. But it makes you really feel for the character. Or it makes you feel for Ellie. It makes you feel for Diana. It makes you feel for like you feel her personal vendetta against the people for killing Joel.
It's so good.
And then like just small details, like you can, like, if you shoot somebody in the head up against the back wall, you can see brain matter dropping on the wall.
Yeah, like sliding down or something.
The details are so good, so good, and the voice acting, the sound, everything.
Because The Last of Us 1, I know we're going off topic here.
Yeah,
it was more about like Ellie and Joel, like, against
their bond.
Yeah, it was their bond, and they were against the world out there. Now, in The Last of Us 2, you're not only against the world out there, but you're against your own emotions, your own vendetta, like. Plus, you got to deal with the world outside, and it's a lot of. It almost puts you in a stressful environment, like you said, and it's an experience that only that game can bring you.
You know how divided this game was? So I'm looking at it right now. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, like I said. IMBD gave it an 8.8 out of 10.
Okay.
GameStop gave it a 4.1 out of 5.
Okay.
On Google, ready?
Yeah.
It has a 64% liked rating. That means half, like close to a little over half the people liked this game. But it got a 10 out of 10. I think the game was a 10 out of 10.
I think so too.
I think it was amazing.
It won Game of the Year.
It did.
This is subjective.
But it's very subjective because you had to have played it. And even if you've played it, sometimes you realize that you just didn't like it. My one friend, Adam, him and I go back and forth on this constantly. He's like, and he's really big into like breaking down things and stuff like that and like entertainment games. And he's like, if I wanted to play a game, so, and again, another spoiler, this is a whole spoil. If I wanted to play a game where my objective was to kill somebody and then I get to the end and I didn't kill them because revenge is not worth it, it's a waste of my time.
What? But it's so good.
And I was trying to explain to him, is like,
I didn't even want to kill her
because you spend all of this time chasing after, like, this Abby is the antagonist.
Yeah.
You spend all this time chasing after her, wanting to kill her because she killed Joel brutally in front of you. Like, Ellie has PTSD from that. And
wait, no, it wasn't in front of her.
Yes, it was. Joel was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Joel was killed hit over the head with a golf club.
I forgot, dude. I got
in front of her, and then they hit her, and her scream to say, like, "Don't do it." Oh my God, bro! You could feel it. You could feel her. But anyway, so like, you basically throughout the entire game, you're chasing after this person, trying to kill them, and then there's moments where you play as her trying to kill Abby, or Ellie's trying to kill Abby, and Abby's trying to kill Ellie. So this is this cat and mouse type of deal. But it gets to the end where Ellie ends up like Abby realizes that, you know what, after all of this, we've lost so many, you've killed so many of my friends. And same thing with Ellie. Abby realizes it's not worth it. Like, she's done. She's over it. Ellie's like, no, we got to finish it. Finish what we started. Ellie gets to the end. She's about to kill Abby, drown her in water. And then she like sees like a flash of Joel and she stops.
It's not what he would have wanted.
It's not what he would have wanted. And that's the moral of it. It's like you chasing after revenge.
Yeah. Like
Naruto, bro, right? Hatred only brings more hatred.
Yeah.
And I was watching another thing called Pluto, which is an anime. Highly recommend it. I'd give it like an 8.7. It kind of like loses me in some areas.
Okay. But
basically it's the whole concept that hatred only breeds more hatred. You have to understand the other people's hatred and forgive that person, etc. But that's the whole premise. Right. It's like you as a character are chasing after this thing and you have to learn to let it go. It's hard. And like in this setting, like in Last of Us, how do you let that go? Like if that happened to you, somebody killed somebody in front of you that you really loved, would you be able to let that go?
I don't know.
Exactly. We're not in that position, but like it's hard. It's not easy. It's not an easy decision.
Yes.
The right decision is to like, you may have killed somebody of mine, but I'm not going to let that define me by me killing you.
Exactly.
So I'm going to let you live. Dude,
it's so good. And I remember when the Game Awards, I know we're speaking against reviews here and how it should be, according to your own opinion. But the Game Awards, The Last of Us 2 came out as the game of the year.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was very well deserved because not only is it okay, The Last of Us 2 is like kind of like a linear game.
Yeah.
It is a linear game, but also in the middle of a game, it changes perspective from the main character to the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you relate to the antagonist on a level where you care for them.
Yes.
And then it brings you back to the protagonist. And I'm talking about my experience. Me as a player, I didn't even want to kill Abby because I knew what she went through.
Yeah.
So you're justifying both of them.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they both should live. Go ahead.
No. Keep going.
No, I'm saying like it's just plain. I think it's a masterpiece.
I think so too.
No game has done this before. Like to my knowledge.
Yeah.
They revolutionized like in terms of playing both sides of the story.
And one thing that I just thought about now. So like, and I preach this a lot, at least. Like, focus on similarities rather than your differences. I have a whole thing for that. You remember that quote that I made? I made basically a whole tattoo for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the longer people focus on differences rather than similarities, the more there will be hatred and disunity. So it's basically to say, like, focus on similarities and what you have in common with other people than the things that make you different.
Yeah.
And so Ellie and Abby in The Last of Us Part 2, and this will be the last thing. And we'll move on to some entertainment.
Dude, yeah, we've been on The Last of Us too.
They have a lot more in common.
Mm-hmm.
Abby, her dad was killed by Joel, right?
Yep.
Ellie, Joel was Ellie's father figure. So in both retrospects, like, their fathers were killed.
Yep.
So now they're two daughters by themselves. So alone, just that alone it should be like, I mean, I'm not saying that alone, they're best friends now. Like, no, but that is like, they are the same character.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they're the same character with the same amount of things to lose. And man, like, I almost put the disc back in to play it the other day because I'm out of games right now to play until Christmas.
Yeah.
So like, moving on from Last of Us Part 2, for entertainment purposes, to relate to people who may like other things other than games. She-Hulk. Do you watch that?
No, I did not watch it. But going off of people's opinions,
what'd you hear?
Their own reviews.
What'd you hear?
It was not well received. So
really?
Yeah, it was not well received. So I guess that played an influence on me to not watch it even more. See how this works?
See, reviews can flip-flop and back and forth. Like, they are so pivotal in our society that like we like like reviews shouldn't be an extreme factor, but they are. And
they play a big role.
I watched all of She-Hulk, bro.
Was it good? Let me hear your review. Tiny one.
Tiny one? Oh, why am I small?
Yeah. No, bro. Just like I don't want to get off topic like we did for The Last of Us.
Yeah. I don't think She-Hulk was the best that it could have been. No, it fucking sucked, bro. No. I don't think it's the best that it could have been. It definitely had potential. There was a lot of unnecessary scenes in it. It's like She-Hulk is if you look at the comics, She-Hulk is a badass character.
Yeah.
Badass. She's twerking with Megan Thee Stallion in
No way.
Yeah. Like what is this for?
Nah.
Yeah. They're twerking in an episode of it.
I mean, it is what it is.
You're like, I mean, that's not why I didn't like it, but like I just, from an actual story standpoint, I just feel like it was kind of all over the place. They did kind of a Deadpool thing, but they amplified it.
Deadpool is in there?
Yeah. Well, no. They did like a Deadpool thing. You know how like he breaks the fourth wall?
Oh, okay.
So she does that a lot where she'll talk to the camera. And that's fine. But like you follow, and it's been a while since I watched it, but like you follow her as a character the entire way. Yep. And you get up to the end where it should be like this conclusion, and she's like, no, I'm going to change the ending of it. She like actually changes the ending in the show. And at least for me, it makes me feel like I watched 8 episodes for you to tell me that this thing that you're building up to is not going to happen. Which actually, now that I say that, can contradict on why I liked Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us 2, yep.
But like,
It's like, yeah,
now I caught myself. But there were some other elements. She didn't really get a lot of superhero moments. She didn't. I don't know. That was my general consensus of it. I remember when this came out. So I'll give it. So IMDb gave it a 5.3 out of 10. Not that great.
Not well received.
Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 77%, which is that's a C plus.
Yeah.
And
barely
it's
a C plus.
Yeah, barely a C plus. But there was a review, or there was a lot of I can't remember what I was reading, but there was a review when it came out, basically people saying that they really liked She-Hulk.
Really?
And it was because of women empowerment, and so they were giving good ratings because of that. And because she's a female character, and it heavily focuses on that, and it puts Bruce Banner on the side, and it highlights her as the main character. And
but then again, that's political issues.
Yeah, and I'm like, She-Hulk shouldn't be based on like, yeah, that's great that they have women empowerment. Like, I'm all for that, but you can't base a show off of like the empowering that it does for a certain demographic. Like, it should be like
review it as a show.
Yeah, like it should be good from like a written standpoint, character acting, which like the actor, she did very well. I don't remember her name, but she did a very good job acting. So like there's nothing on her performance. It's just like the people who wrote the show, like the scenes didn't really land. They kind of fell flat. They felt like they didn't amount to anything because they could always be just changed. So
it's always that surprise factor.
There should be there's this climax that it never gets to ever. Like, and I don't know, it just falls flat. And like I think the moment you start putting like like you could say this, like you could say the same thing about like black empowering, right? I'm part black, so like I can say this, but
I can say this.
I'm prefacing that, but like it's like saying like this movie was about empowering black people, so that's why it's good. That's not what makes a movie good.
Yeah.
It can have those like undertones to it that give it more depth for sure.
Right.
But it shouldn't be something that defines whether something is good or not. And so like those are just some two things from entertainment. One game, one movie, or I guess TV show related that really kind of shed the light on how reviews can teeter either side. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they play a big influence on people.
So what are some other games that had a similar effect? If you can think of any. I mean, we have a list that we're gonna pull from, so I'm not gonna bullshit. But like, besides the list that we have,
so I would say GTA 5. GTA 5, there was a lot of controversy with diminishing women, and to the point where it was banned in Australia. They took it off the shelves.
I do remember that. So we have a Watch Mojo article up. I'll throw it in the description on Spotify and the description for YouTube, and the RSS feed will pick it up from there. Oh my god, almost fell.
You good?
Yep, farted.
Okay.
But I'll read this. So this is based off of the Watch Mojo article site. This controversy was a response to GameSpot's review of Grand Theft Auto 5, in which Caroline Petit brought up issues regarding the game's treatment of women, claiming that it celebrates sexism. This went about as well as you'd expect with the gaming community, as Caroline was quickly labeled feminist scum, among many other colorful things, and a petition that was created calling her immediate termination from GameSpot. Suffice to say, the petition was ultimately unsuccessful.
This is insane.
Think about it. GTA has always been a game, bare bones, where you're killing people.
You're diminishing everyone.
You're demolishing a lot of people. Like, you could have, like, I mean, technically, when you get the 5-star rating, cops are chasing after you.
Oh, yeah.
Police brutality, you could say that.
Everything.
You could say a lot of things. San Andreas, I mean, you're playing as a black character, right?
Yeah, but I don't identify as black.
Well, you're not.
Oh, okay. but I'm playing as a black character.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, you're playing as a black character, where if you wanted to twist it this way, like, you have a 5-star rating, and police are like, you know how crazy they go with
There's a lot of reels of, like, with this, people playing like GTA.
Yeah.
And then, like, they see a white person walking by.
Yeah.
And they punching the police, and then when the black person does it,
yeah,
it's like
5-star rating. Like, but like a 5-star wanted list, a wanted rating on Grand Theft Auto 5 or Grand Theft Auto in general, you basically have like the SWAT team, like every cop car chasing after you. In San Andreas, you have tanks and stuff like that. But they'll chase after you, and they'll like they want to demolish you, like.
yeah.
And like you could say
that's shooting you on sight.
Yeah, you could say that's police brutality, but it's that's not what they're doing. It's just showing you that like killing so many people eventually gives you a repercussion,
right,
for all these cops chasing after you. So like that's all it is. I think some people will read too far into like a meaning behind something, and then it ends up not being what that thing actually is. It's like, you don't know why the developers made that. Like the developers have wives and like or husbands, whatever. Like, do you think their wives would be like? Do you think they're actually treating their wives that way?
No, yeah, exactly.
No, like,
because of the game.
Obviously, like, I don't want to like take away from the fact that like, yeah, it does, like, you can highlight like certain elements like that promote bad behavior and promote sexism, which is not good. But again,
Just up to the player.
yeah. But again, I remind you, you're playing Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You know what you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you don't know that your kids are playing this, well, you should look into what your kids are playing.
You're gonna tell people how to teach their kids?
No, I'm not.
I'm kidding.
But I mean,
I'm
if
kidding.
you're worried, if you're worried, then go look into it.
But just to move us on a little bit further, just for sake of time, let's do another fun one. Let's do Uncharted
I was
4.
just thinking about that one.
Really? That's because we're on the same wavelength. We're connected.
We're connecting. I can read this one.
Our umbilical cords are touching right now.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah. So overall, like just to give a quick summary, the reason why Uncharted 4 was controversial is because it got a 9 out of 10 from IGN's Lucy O'Brien, and gamers were not happy about that.
I'll read it off.
So go for it.
If you scored 90% on a test, would you go insane and personally attack your teacher? No. Well, that's what happened to IGN's Lucy O'Brien, who found herself on the receiving end on some seriously pissed off fanboys after giving Uncharted 4 a 9 out of 10. She called the game a remarkable achievement and praised nearly every aspect minus a bloated third act. This caused Uncharted fans to lose their minds, showing complete disgust that IGN scored recent Call of Duty titles higher and showering personal abuse on O'Brien over her rating. Even though O'Brien had never reviewed a Call of Duty game for IGN, keep in mind all this over a 9, which is crazy because it's
That's
still
insane.
good.
That's insane. What I will say, my own personal preference or opinion, Uncharted 4 was not a 10.
I agree.
It was a great game. I loved it. But I do agree that there was a portion in Uncharted 4 where it was a little long. I loved every single Uncharted 4 game.
Right.
Every single one. But there gets a point where if you're complaining about a 1 point difference,
Yeah.
I mean,
Why are you complaining though?
because it's not a perfect score.
If you love the game, you should accept the fact that it's a 10 out of 10 for you.
Yeah.
And if somebody else thinks otherwise, that's on them. But you know it's a 10 out of 10.
It's a 10 out of like Pedro and I agree that it's a 10 out of 10, but 64% of people, or sorry, what is it? 46% of people don't think that for Last of Us Part 2. That's fine. You're allowed. That's the beauty about like sharing your opinion with things. Like you know what you like, the other person knows what they like. You can talk about it. That's fine.
Exactly.
But I don't think you should be harassing somebody because they gave like a 9 out of 10 on something that you think should be a 10. I think when you start threatening somebody's life because of a review, I think that gets a little much.
It is.
I think. Much. I mean, I don't think you should be threatening anyone over a review.
Exactly. Like, over a game, and a game that you play at your own house, and if you enjoy it, why are you going crazy on the internet for somebody else's opinion?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, death threats were sent for, I know I keep referencing this, but like death threats were sent for Last of Us Part 2. Like death, yes. Like you're going to, for why? Nobody deserves that.
People are too attached to the game sometimes, man.
Well, I'm attached to Last of Us. I bought the collector's edition, but I'm not like sending.
You're not that attached to like a character.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I can be a Sony fanboy. I will say that. You like.
Yeah, but these are like extreme.
Yeah, that's wild.
That is
it's wild.
I mean, I get it. Like, I didn't want to see that. I can accept that. I didn't want to see that, and I would have loved a game where Joel was more involved, but I'm not gonna, dwell and go crazy on that, on that thought of a game that never exists over this masterpiece that we got.
Yeah. I think there was like an interview with another game developer years ago. It was on IGN a while ago. But like the guy had made a statement and I'm a gamer through and through. We talked about labels and stuff like that on our last episode, but he made this statement saying that gamers are whiny assholes. I wouldn't go that far in terms of like the phrasing, but I will say, like, even for myself, like, gamers can be very whiny when it's not the thing that we asked for.
Yeah.
Even if it's like off by a smidge, you're like, this isn't what I asked for. Bro, I gave you as close to it as possible.
Right.
No. It's still not what I asked for. It's a 9. No. It's not what I asked for. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like we're looking for this like perfection from them.
Right.
From these game developers, producers, writers, actors. Like, we're looking for that. And it's like, it's kind of unfair.
What are you trying to prove? Okay, what if they were to change it 10 out of 10? What are you going to do with that 10 out of 10?
Beat off to it. Hanging in
what are
your
you
room.
doing? Like,
I'm sorry if I'm offending somebody, but like that.
I really want to know what you're going to do with, okay, if you're pissed off about it, they change the score to 10 out of 10.
What happens now?
What's different?
Yeah. What happens now?
Are you going to love the game more? Is that going to cause, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I don't know, man. It might make it 11 out of 10.
You see, like,
yeah,
it's unheard of. I mean, it is heard of, but to me, it's like, I can't believe this.
Another game that was like that was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild from 2017. Basically, people DDoSed. I don't know if you know what that means. I barely know what it means, but do you know what I mean?
I don't.
It's a type of like attack on somebody's internet.
Like doxed?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it is. DOSed.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it is. Basically, Breath of the Wild got Sterling. This guy named, what's his name? Jim Sterling. He gave it a 7 out of 10, while every other reviewer gave it like a really high score, and so because of that, Metacritic dropped the game from a rating of 98 to 97, which threw angry fans into chaos.
Oh my goodness!
And so then they DDoSed this Jim Sterling guy. I will say the Breath of the Wild was a masterpiece as well. Like it did. Some people didn't like it because of the weapons breaking, so that would drop it down from a 10 out of 10 to like a 9. Like a simple thing like that could drop a rating. Which again, all just goes to show like reviews don't live by a review.
Mm-hmm.
Not entirely. Use it as a guideline to help you pick the thing that you want to pick. Right? If you love the game, cool. Then you love the game. That's fantastic. You it's a win for you. If you hated the game, then you hated the game, and the review also will say that. Like it agrees with you.
Yeah. I don't get. I mean, I know some Zelda fans that are still Zelda fans, you know.
Yeah.
But didn't play Breath of the Wild because it wasn't up to Zelda standards in their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But see, they accept that they're still Zelda fans. They just don't play Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Like, it doesn't change their view about Zelda.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like these people, I don't want to call them that. That kind of sounds wrong.
Damn,
but
you people. Damn,
I feel
Pedro.
like, these gamers that are extreme on their opinion like this, like, I feel like once they view a review, like a review rating, I guess they think it's going to cause them, it should cause them to think that, oh, shoot, my opinion is actually wrong. And
this is an outrage.
So I guess that's what causes them to, be mad.
Mm-hmm.
But, bro, just accept it.
I remember talking to you about A Last of Us Part 2 when it came out. And we were confused. We were like,
about what?
Well, we purposely, so I'm going to transition into our last point, and then I'll continue with this. But so how do you think, basically it's how do you think we should separate ourselves from the review since they can be subjective? The one thing I would recommend, which is what I was about to say with Last of Us Part 2, is that when Pedro and I went into playing this game, that game, we purposely stayed away from the review. We bought the game because we thought it was going to be interesting.
I remember that. Yeah.
And we bought the game because we thought it was going to be interesting. And obviously the first one was good.
Yep.
So we played it, beat it the whole way. Did I beat it first or did you?
It was probably me. I don't know.
I think this was the only game that I beat you first.
It was you.
Every other game you beat me.
Yeah.
You beat it first before I did.
It was you.
But we beat the game. And I remember getting to a point where I was like, bro, you got to beat it. You ended up beating it. And then we were like, we talked about it.
We kind of make our own.
Yeah. We made our own like
review discussion.
We kind of made our own observation of the entire game. And then we looked at the reviews. We got a 10 out of 10, got a 10 out of 10. And then we looked at the comment section. And we were like, what?
What happened?
We were confused.
Yeah.
We were like, what the hell just happened? Like, we love this game. Like, why are people hating it? Like, we genuinely didn't understand. And I think just that alone in like, if you're already set in buying a game and you are going to buy it, like, and let's say you already pre-ordered it.
Yeah.
Buy it. Like, just unless it's a game breaking, like don't buy a game that's completely broken. Wait for it to get fixed. Or in case of the game Redfall, the vampire game made by Turtle Rock Studio. I'm getting that name wrong.
No, I think you got it right.
But anyway, I'll throw it up on screen right now for the video portion, or I'll cut it in here and I'll call it real name. But that game, Arcane Studio.
It sounds so familiar.
That game came out, and a lot of stuff came out about this game behind the developers. The developers never wanted to make this game.
Why is that?
They never wanted to make this game. This was the investors wanted them to make this.
Of course.
And so a lot of people left Arcane Studio so that way they didn't have to be a part of this product anymore. That's bad.
Yeah.
If people were leaving a project like that, that's
not good news.
No, it's not. And so like that's unless it's something like that to that scale, I would say 100% look at the review, make sure you don't buy that game. Like you need to make sure, and that's why I say game reviews, entertainment reviews are necessary to a degree, but I don't think you should rely on them.
No.
I think if you are if you think a game is interesting and you plan on buying it and you pre-ordered it, play it.
Yeah.
See how it goes and experience it for yourself, because you may love that. Stay away from the review. Don't look at the review. Don't look at the rating on it. Don't look at anything. Don't even talk to your friends about it until you play it. Beat it, then make your assessment. This game sucked, or this game was great, because then you'll you enjoy it more. I would say, and when you enjoy it more, you get more of like a self pleasure type of thing. It's like, hey, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I really enjoyed this game.
Enjoy it, yeah, and it stays special to you.
Stays super special. And I think the one thing that's special about this episode is that you stay true to yourself based on your own preferences. Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
I can't hear you.
That is very deep.
Huh?
I said that is very deep. It's
like
deep in there.
It gets it's there. Deep in there. Like that mic is deep in your mouth.
It's in there.
But like this one was a quickie, I think.
Quickie already?
Yeah.
Oh well.
We touched based on a lot of things. We mainly talked about Last of Us Part 2 and She-Hulk. That's mainly what we talked about. But overall, like I think
Meg the Stallion.
Meg the Stallion twerking. I mean,
that's going on the thumbnail.
Done. I'm doing it. Enough said. But I really like this one. This is one that I wanted to talk about for a while. I feel like I kind of want to do a part 2 to this. Yeah. What do you think?
I agree.
Maybe do a little bit more research on some other like movies or anime that weren't really received all that well.
Oh yeah,
That or were
could stir
controversial.
up some controversy here.
Yeah. We're all like, we have a very big preference on reviews. Like I get very passionate on reviews just because like at the end of the day they are subjective. Like that's what the person liked or not liked.
You
like,
can go as hard as hell.
Yeah.
But
Me?
You can go hard as hell on the review, but at the end of the day,
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about I could go hard as hell on this topic.
Oh, you can.
Stop.
That was so fake, dude.
Yeah, it was. But
I saw it.
what? But we are beat. We are tired. So we are gonna let you guys end it with this. Also, the laptop is dying, so it's better. We gotta end it.
We have to end it.
We have to end it.
Thank you.
No choice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us on the episode 10 of the LeisureHub Podcast. We have 10 in a row. We've never missed.
Never.
Every single Friday, we've dropped an episode for you, and it's been on YouTube on Saturday.
We're always
Tell me
here.
something.
Something.
Spoons don't get any more flavorful than they do when they eat trash.
That's freaking deep, dude.
It's deep. It's deep. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this one. Pedro's sweating. He's rubbing his head. He's like, damn, my head is smooth. Which head?
It is.
That's for you guys to decide. Pedro just looked at me like a deer in headlights.
All right. See you guys.
Love you guys. Mwah.
How? I have to.